¡Qué hueta! Welcome to On the Rocks, where we're here por culpa de Fidel. Si tú pasas por mi casa y sube a mi mujer, y te dice que voy a Jalía trabajando en factoría por culpa de Fidel.
I didn't sing that song, by the way.
Because he doesn't.
Because he sucks.
He only knows bachata Spanish. You know?
Oof.
Which is
No, I know Dembao too. So
Let's go,
don't
baby.
disrespect me.
Dembo, take
Dembo.
Nambo, take Nambo, take
close.
Nambo, take Nambo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you already know. Welcome to On the Rocks. For all of those who have already been here before, welcome back. For if you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check the description below so you can catch our Instagrams. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can see when we post new content.
Ding.
Carl, what are we drinking today?
Alright, guys. So today,
You had to slide the bottle.
Disclaimer.
it gives it the noise. Look,
There's a disclaimer right now. Carl is drunk. So
Carl
keep
is
that in mind.
super wasted right now. Look.
I'm not wasted.
You're not wasted?
All right, Carl, tell the bottle.
I had a pool day. 3:00 in the afternoon. I had a great time.
So what are we drinking today,
What are
Carl?
you drinking, Carl?
So that's why it makes the
The
noise.
mic.
We're having Cap Morgan, normal, good old original spice rum. The same thing you drink on your weekends. The ones that you pay the least amount of money for. Anyways, so today we'll be talking about.
We ain't cheering, bud?
No. Oh, you want to cheer? Yeah, we're gonna cheer at the end. But all right, I was gonna say what we're gonna be talking about, and then we cheer. But we'll cheer right now. That's
Go
fine.
ahead, Carl.
Cheers.
Bring it
bro.
in. Hey, ting ting.
Jesus.
Ting ting. Don't bring the glass, cause then you're gonna dirty the table. Anyway, vamos, hecha. So, today, guys, I'm trying to talk, man. Let's go. Like, come on, get serious here. Anyways, today we'll be talking about. So, growing up, Miami versus New York. Kevin's from New York. We're from Miami. We the plus minus. What makes you who you are? The differences. There it is.
The plus
Plus minus. You know, like just because you're from New York doesn't make you better than from Miami. Not
the
everything's
fuck?
better from New York. I was gonna say because you're from New York, you're Jesus Christ. Well, the closest thing to Jesus Christ, but that's not what it is. Anyways, we're gonna have our good old classic Florida man presented by Gio. I don't know what it's gonna be. That's random every day, and the more day shootings here in Miami might be, just getting everybody's input on what they see, like what they, you know what I mean?
So
what they think
for English
on
for
those.
that, we're gonna be talking about the difference between growing up in Miami versus growing up in New York.
That's what I said.
And
What else?
the recent shootings that's been happening in Miami.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's been.
Yeah.
I think it was like.
Recent shooting, the Memorial Day weekend shooting. That's what it is.
No, it's
Yeah.
just.
So, start up,
I
Carl.
know, so let's start it up.
How was it growing up in
The
Miami?
difference is going in Miami, New York.
Well, you have no
So
differences.
look, I think hold on. So look.
Time out. You can't compare
No,
New York.
No, hold on.
Talk about how you grew up in Miami.
So growing up, I'm gonna flip the baseball cap around.
Oh yeah, bro.
Miami, New York.
Ash Ketchum here.
I
bro.
don't think any of us will be better to start this off than Kevin. He's lived in both. I haven't lived in New York. I didn't even visit New York.
didn't grow up
One
in
day I went
Miami.
visit New York. You guys maybe have visited New York at one point in time, but he's lived a few years, a good amount of years in Miami. He's lived most of his life in New York. Let's see what he has to say. This is the best. And then we can jump in and out. Because I know he's going to be wrong. Because Kevin's not right all the time.
Oh,
Kevin's right and wrong most
Okay.
of the time. But go ahead, Kev.
I don't know how I'm gonna be wrong about growing up in New York since I'm the only one in
Because
this
you're going
group
to think
that
you're better.
grew up
And
in New
people from
York.
Miami are better, Kevin. 305.
Wow.
Carl, shut up.
We got Chico Pimp, Mr. 305. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
boy,
Mr. Worldwide.
I like this Carl.
I do too.
Carl.
I like this guy.
All right. So
Alright, let's not do the she thing because I know a lot
You
of
did
people
it
don't
first,
do that.
man.
I
Here
know
we
that's
go.
the last one. First and last, it hit me in my head. And that's it. My brain told me to do that, and that's what I did.
all right. So growing up in New York, it's not really a competition about which one's better. It's just talking about the differences. Obviously, with growing up in New York, you just have to grow up very fast because it's all about looking around you, and obviously, you're not always in the best situation. For me personally, I was born in Brooklyn, and I moved to Queens later on. So I've lived in both types of neighborhood in terms of like a hood and a suburb / hood. Obviously, walking down the street, you always gotta look behind you or always check your peripherals. Obviously, the cop rule. I think that's with every growing up in any type of neighborhood.
Imagine you had the seasons too.
Huh?
Because you had a winter. We don't get that around here.
Yeah, we have winter. I mean, winter is fine because unfortunately black people don't come out in the winter, so it's a lot safer in the winter than it is in the summer.
Yeah, but
in the summer, that's when it gets dangerous.
No, but even in the winter, like you have to imagine you're stuck home because of the blizzards. You guys get blizzards up there. We don't get.
But dealing with a blizzard is not that bad compared to dealing with like a hurricane.
Yeah.
Because a blizzard, it's gonna come, and all you have to do is stay in your house.
I mean, that's the same thing as a hurricane. Like, you
know
a hurricane's gonna come, you stay in your house.
It's different though, because a hurricane can destroy your whole neighborhood.
Yeah, and destroy your car.
Yeah.
A blizzard can't fuck your thing up. It literally just puts snow in it. You can't move. You just stay in the house.
Yeah.
And you have gas.
I've seen some blizzards. I mean, I guess it depends on where you live. Like, there's like the blizzard in Austin this winter and stuff that like blew pipes. I mean, obviously because maybe they don't see that weather often.
Yeah.
So
their society's not designed for a blizzard.
Their infrastructure.
Yeah, versus New York. New York is designed for blizzard weather, so all the piping is designed to handle that.
Yeah.
So we don't really worry that much about like pipes bursting or anything like that. You just worry about being in your house. Obviously, you have gas, so you have heat.
So blizzard, just a lot of snow is what it is.
There's a lot of snow. I mean, you get a snow day. You don't go to school.
I've got a question for you, Kevin.
Yeah,
What's up?
Go ahead.
I've seen it all in those TV shows. Do you guys actually like break open fire hydrants and have fun in them, or is that like
like
bullshit that
that's
you see on
like New
TV?
York stuff.
I've never done that in my life.
So during the summertime, and I would say I've seen it obviously mostly in the hood, probably like Brooklyn, because I grew up in Flatbush. That you did see a lot of that you break the fire hydrant and the kids play in the street. Yeah, it's a true thing. That does happen. We don't got pools in the hood, so you gotta
stay cool the way you can, bro.
You don't even have a community pool?
No, a community pool is if you live in the projects.
This is not Coral Gables where you have the what is it called the Venetian pool and stuff.
There's a pool, community pool by my house by Rockaway Middle.
There are like there are pools like that.
I never seen,
but you probably don't want to go there.
Got it.
Honestly,
that's why you live in New York versus Miami. You don't go to the community.
It's not because of that.
It's not
because
of
the
that.
dirty. It's just because of the people who be around.
That's how I feel.
Like that.
I'm not trying to get in that cesspool. Like imagine like 80 million kids just pissing and all that. No, thank you. I'll pass. Hard pass.
All right. So look, all I gotta ask is, so like, did you grow up in New York? Like, what would you say the Miami neighborhood? Because most of the people who are gonna be listening to this right now are from Miami. The equivalent Miami neighborhood to like your
Flatbush.
Flatbush is equivalent to like what? Kendall, Hialeah,
Flatbush,
like Westchester.
Flatbush in the 90s would be considered
late 90s,
early 90s. I was born in 93.
Yeah, but you didn't walk in the streets until like late 90s.
So all right, I'm gonna give you the breakdown. It started in Flatbush, then I moved to Canarsie in Brooklyn, and then I went to Queens in Springfield Gardens, probably around 2000.
Astoria, right?
No, Springfield Gardens.
Astoria's in Manhattan, no?
No, Astoria's in Queens.
Astoria's in Queens.
Oh, you're right.
I moved to Springfield Gardens probably around 2001, 2002.
That's a good time.
So, in terms of Brooklyn, Flatbush in the 90s, which were a lot of Jamaicans, I guess you would consider it close to like Opelika if you want to put it to a hood.
Oh, okay.
Canarsie, I don't know, because there's not a lot of hoods that's like that, unfortunately. It's a little bit better than Flatbush at that time, but it ain't like
it's kind of like its own thing.
Yeah, it's not like suburb. Where my house is now, it's hard because there's nowhere in Miami that's like that. Miami Gardens, I guess you could say, is the closest thing, which is like Hialeah, but it's not Spanish. It's straight. It's a lot of black people. It's nice houses with more space, but it's still the hood because it's a blood run neighborhood.
It's Homestead.
No, it's not Homestead. Carl.
No, it's not Homestead. It's not. There's
a certain area in Homestead where you can go. I don't know the exact thing, but there's a part in Homestead where you get a lot of land. You get like predominantly black neighborhood.
The issue is it's not like Homestead because where you get a lot of land, it's still a fine neighborhood. Like you're still like safe. Versus in where I live right now, where my house. No, unfortunately, it's not the safest place because like
Homestead not completely safe.
Let the man speak, Carl. Jesus.
in those places, like because I live in Homestead now, technically, so it's safe. Because obviously there's gangs. It's literally predominantly a blood neighborhood, so there's bloods. Obviously, there's a park across the street that people got shot at, people got beat up at, jumped at. Even though it's nicer than where I previously lived, it's still not like the safest. So that's the thing.
But you kind of say that about almost any neighborhood at this point.
What?
Any neighborhood like here in Miami, like people are getting shot left and right, but
I mean,
right now in current day. But yeah, I can see that. I mean, I feel like it would be the closest thing would be somewhat Homestead. I mean, Homestead is not the safest place either. It's not like you're living on Brickell. You know what I'm saying?
Brickell's not that safe either.
Yeah,
don't get it twisted.
But maybe if you look
Safe
at
is
it,
safe is like Boca Raton. Like
Yeah.
not even like
Coral
you
Gables.
gotta
Yeah,
be
the Gables.
safe
Yeah.
is like Key West at this point.
Not
Honestly,
even,
like Kendall is safe. It's hard for me to say what's safe in Miami because I feel safe everywhere in Miami compared to what I
he has
grew up with.
perspective because from when he grew up versus where he lives now, it's a lot
And
different.
asterisk, that's being that like guns are illegal in New York.
And that makes it more like it's worse because
You're
guns
like,
are illegal in New York,
what?
and if somebody has
And
a gun,
it makes it worse. I'm just saying that
if somebody has a gun in New York, that means it's
Stay
serious.
woke.
Like so, I'm gonna give you an example. It's not even a gun example. You're an idiot. I remember walking from school one day, going to my house, probably like 2 houses down from my house, actually, on my own block, walking past these 2 guys and hearing, "Oh, let's rob this guy."
Straight up like that.
Like I hear them talking about robbing me.
Uh-huh.
I'm walking towards them. They're walking towards me.
Yeah.
I hear them say that. Knowing at the time, unfortunately, I had a knife on me, so I was like, I'm ready for this. I'm down for it. Let's go.
you're like, let's bring it. I've been waiting this my
Like,
whole
100%.
damn life.
I've been waiting for this. Like, all right, let's go. Like, I'm ready. Like,
Kevin, you don't
about
bring a
it.
knife to a gunfight though. You don't know what they're
no,
bringing.
and they were a little bit older than me at this time, and I was like in probably 7th grade, so they weren't that.
He's like, I was from kindergarten. They're 5th grade. They got gas. It's not a big deal. You know, they can't even handle that.
No, but yeah. So I mean, you just always have to be aware of your surroundings in New York, and you just don't back down. You have to learn to fight.
I would say that having that perspective from New York, like carrying a knife on you, growing up in Miami, I guess just for me, I never had to think about doing anything like that. I think I just embraced not only I know you just embrace being a kid and growing up and having your fun stuff like that, but I never had that fear of having to look over my shoulder and I feel like I growing up in Kendall, I grew up in Kendall, and it was always just me. I would walk to my school bus stop by myself. I would walk back, but my parents trusted me enough that I could have my own key to the house, and I'm talking about 3rd grade, 4th grade, go home, and just be unbothered. I don't know if that's just having perspective from where I grew up, and I don't know. It's just it's very different. From hearing what you were saying, I can't imagine how I would have to grow up like that in New York. I guess because it would be different for me to adjust to something like that.
It wasn't really a fear. It's just something you lived with.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the thing. You weren't afraid of it because it's something you just dealt
That's
with
what I'm
all
saying.
your life.
I'm saying to me it's different because I never had that thought of man, I gotta look over my shoulder when people are walking by me. I didn't have that. It's not. Fear's not the word to use. I would say it's more like a awareness. I didn't have that. I didn't need to have that awareness growing up. My neighborhood was just very different from that. I mean, I don't know. What do you feel?
What about you, Gio?
I was raised in Westchester.
Westchester.
I think the most I didn't really have that much freedom.
But growing up, how was it for you?
I was very sheltered. I didn't get to go out.
So,
I didn't get to do anything. I was just taken to school, picked up from school, stayed in my house.
So
I didn't get to go to parties. I didn't get to go out with my friends.
But you didn't have where you would hang out in the neighborhood and play manhunt or tag.
Yeah, your parents didn't let you when you leave school. You're okay. Let's say you got 3:30 from 4:30 or 5 to go play, and then after that you come home and you
Nope.
you gotta do homework, and by the time it's dark you gotta none of that shit.
No,
Yeah.
I was picked up from school and I went straight home.
And you went straight home. You
The
never left.
only friend
the
I
house?
had at that point was my sister.
I feel you. Yeah, I mean, I
didn't
lived.
get to go-
I
I
guess
had my
it's
backyard
It's a
and that was
Miami thing. We were blessed to live in because Miami. Even if you lived in the early 80s in Miami or late 80s, even the late 80s, even to the 90s, we lived in Miami. But there's bad places where you can live in Miami, during the whole cocaine cowboys era and all that. Miami was a bad place. But I feel like we lived in like pretty decent places, for the most part. Like even till up to like early 2000s, like late 90s, I lived in Coral Gables. Everything was obviously good to go. Other than that, I lived in Fontainebleau after that, which is even to this day now, from what I've heard, Fontainebleau not that great of an area. But my parents would be like, look, from here, it was a community, and it's like the community has a mailbox for everybody for the like next 15 houses has like one mailbox area where everybody picks up. They're like, from here to the mailbox where I can see the mailbox, you're good to go, which is maybe like a quarter of a block, half a block. And they're like, after that, you can come bring your bike around and you come back around. I mean, luckily I had 2 other brothers where we can have a good time. And like, I didn't have to go looking for a friend to play with. We had somebody that we had actually across the street playing with us. But I mean, I feel like that's one of those things where we were blessed, I guess, to live in the right neighborhoods. I guess the good thing about bringing up something like that, where like living in New York in like maybe an area where it wasn't the best. I mean, you're able to kind of like get ready for the future type of thing. Because right now, I mean, everything is just up in the air. There's so many people, starting things.
Growing up in New York, I don't hate it. I loved growing up in New York. It was fun. Yeah. I wouldn't trade it for anywhere. Growing up anywhere in the world, like I love the experience that I had growing up in New York. Even like the things you don't even think about until you like get older. Like I remember going back to my old building in Brooklyn in Flatbush. Because my grandmother used to live there still. Because me and my cousin and my sister used to stay by my grandmother on like the weekends. And like you hear like dog fighting. And to us it's like you don't think about it.
Like Michael Vick?
No, like idiot.
This guy, bro.
But yeah,
Michael Vick, he's a lefty. I'm a lefty.
But like you like you hear it because like it's like a project. It's like an apartment building. And in the middle of the apartment building they have like all the because it's surrounded.
Yeah, so like that's one of those things. Like when you hear a dog fighting with another dog, it's different. If you never heard a dog fighting with another dog, like it's.
I mean, we had something like that. We had cockfights, man.
No,
but
we had cockfights.
But what
I feel where he's coming
from.
No.
No. What I'm saying is, as a child, you don't think of it as anything. Because it's just something you grew up around. Yeah, that's why I can see. I can see why Michael Vick didn't think of it because you grew up around it. So it's like okay, like I've literally heard this dog fight for like 5 years, and his name was Soldier, and that dog killed every other. That dog was Soldier. I've heard that dog for like 5 years.
I'll bring Max.
Hearing that
dude, Max in his prime. Let's do it. Bring it.
No, I don't
Carl,
think so.
Your dog can't
pay per view. No, I'm not in his prime. I wouldn't put Max through that anyways.
But yeah, I grew up with stuff like that. But the good thing about like where I grew up with my family is that we're very family oriented. So I didn't have to go out to get a lot of friends outside of the family because obviously we grew up around the same age. So we all hung out with each other. So obviously you feel safe around your family. So I didn't have to do like going part like playing with other kids or anything like that because I had my cousins.
I feel it was like a little more different from me because I grew up like kind of this like social butterfly where like I was always surrounded around people that after school, like bell would ring and I would like chill and like have after school care in a sense, and I would hang out with all the kids in the school care and I'd make friends, And I was also like, I know you were in organized sports in New York. I was also in organized sports down here in basketball, and I was always kind of just around people all the time. So I kind of felt like I didn't feel like a security in a sense, but like I said, I didn't need to have that awareness around me all the time. I just felt like this is just how I live. This is not I'm always gonna have the people around me, and that's just how it is. It just felt different for me.
Speaking of the organized sports, I think about back with it. I was not playing in the like when I was playing like community football and stuff like that. It was not in a good neighborhood. Yeah. And I used to have to like sometimes I would have to walk home with my equipment like through the projects and stuff like that. Like
hardball type shit.
Like hardball type shit. Like
I was thinking in my head.
I have to literally walk past the projects and stuff like that. Walk past like drug dealers and stuff like that. And obviously like you think about it, damn, I might get jumped, but it's not like that I'm afraid of. Like I'm
that's true. I mean, like you just get used to it. I feel like after a while, like it's the same guy on the same corner. It's just like it's normal.
Because if you were to put Karl in that situation, Karl would get scared.
His knees are shaking.
Look, I went to Chicago. Chicago's not
Here
the best.
Here we go.
Look, I went to Chicago with my girlfriend. It's not the best thing. And we were at
dish pizza.
We were at 3:00 in the morning, like going to the bar. We closed the bar down at 3:00 in the morning. I mean, given maybe it's not the worst, let's say, quote unquote, the worst neighborhood ever, but Chicago's not an easy place either. I mean, given I also went during the cold time, and like he said earlier, like Kevin said, in the cold time, maybe it's not the same thing as like going in the summertime.
Black people don't come out in the cold. If you see somebody outside in the cold, they out for something else. If they out,
if they're out in the cold, like, you don't mess with them. Like, they really need something, type of thing. Yeah. But yeah, there was one thing. I mean, I went to Atlanta recently, and I know Atlanta sometimes, like, same thing. There's certain areas in Atlanta where you just don't go to. I didn't know what those places were. It's my bad. I should have researched it.
Bankhead.
But there's some areas that, like, right around the corner, like Peachtree on something else. I don't even know what it's called.
My shoe game.
But yeah, look, there was
fuck that bitch.
Call that bitch.
Karl, if you wanted to know all the places you don't go to Atlanta, list any Atlanta rapper. Whatever he says, don't go there. Don't go there.
I didn't think of that. I was gonna put some Ludacris songs on my story on Instagram, and I should listen to the Ludacris, like, Georgia songs that they had, and would have broken it down. But yeah, I mean, there's some sketchy places where you can tell where, like, in Atlanta at least, where you go and you're like, all right, it's starting to get a little sketchy. It's
just some places you shouldn't go without people who's from
who
there.
know. Yeah, exactly. I feel.
But it's
the same thing I told, like, Reggie when Reggie came with me to New York. I'm like, it's all about the attitude you have.
All right, so yeah,
Reggie must have been scared.
So,
bro.
like, that's the thing.
I was scared.
So that's the thing. I feel like, and I remember you telling me something about that. Something like in New York, like, you just don't stare at people, like,
you don't,
things like that.
Those are rules.
So, like, that's
rules.
I carried that same thing.
Stare.
Which I'm gonna explain the rules to
you. Don't
New
drink.
York.
You don't drink soda off the can.
I carried that same thing, like those same rules throughout Atlanta. I feel like pretty good about it. Like, I would walk through Atlanta. There's a, like, liquor store in the corner where, like, you see in all these, like, super, like, gangster movies and stuff like that, where everybody's hanging out in the corner and everybody it's just a little awkward, and it's like
slanging
because you feel like there's something weird going on here. And you walk through there. I would have to walk through there every single day to go where we were going, and I would walk through there, like, you don't completely not make eye contact. That shows that you're weak. I go up there, make some, like, quick eye contact, say, like, like, nod the head, what's up, acknowledge people, and you walk through, and you're good. That's all you gotta do when you're going through, like, a tough neighborhood. I feel, or something like that. Like, you just gotta, like, there's certain rules that you do and you don't, type of thing.
Yeah. So the rules, obviously, about the eye contact is mostly like a 2-second rule. Like, 2 seconds is probably a little too long.
People either.
You can't stare at somebody in New York.
Don't stare. You lost.
So staring at somebody in New York is like staring at a dog. It's like you're literally saying that you want to fight me.
Yeah.
Like that's angering a New Yorker.
Yeah, you're standing up.
No matter if he's black, white, Asian, whatever.
Puerto Rican.
It doesn't matter. It's a rule in New York. You don't stare at somebody. That's disrespectful. Don't stare at somebody. You're starting to
being
fight.
Disrespectful, it's kind of weird. Like, you
it
just
is weird.
Don't stare at people.
But that's the thing. In Florida, people stare at people.
And you're
that's
just
true.
like, look at this weirdo. Like, you don't
true.
take it as a sign of disrespect. Here in Florida, I feel like in Miami, you're like, look at this weirdo. Like, you're just weird. Like, you just don't look at them because you think they're weird. I can see that where, like, in New York, a person like that was like, you have that pride and stuff. Like, you don't do that.
Like, it's gonna be like, what the fuck are you staring at? Like, it's gonna be a loud. It's not gonna be a quiet thing.
They'll call you out. They're gonna call you out. Like, what are you looking at?
Also, with Reggie, this is a problem Reggie has. This is a problem Reggie has.
Here we go, bro.
You are not supposed to talk to people you don't know. Random people on the street, you don't talk to
Kevin,
them.
You also don't drink from a can.
Yes, you don't do that.
Kevin, I didn't talk to nobody that I didn't know.
We went to a... Alright, so... Alright.
I can see...
No, let me tell the story.
I can see Reggie doing that, though.
So...
I can see it.
Let's see.
We went to Chinatown in New York.
Who the fuck did I talk to in Chinatown?
We were in the line to get food. Reggie turns around and talks to this creep ass dude, like some bum. No, like, he like crooked teeth, everything. Talks to that. Hey, you ever been here before? Like I go, Reggie.
What's good here?
I'm like, yo, Reggie, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you doing
Let me give
son?
perspective from my side. So here's what happened. Kevin took me to this place in Chinatown that you saw on the YouTube channel, right? Some Chinese restaurant that we're gonna go eat at. I just wanted to verify on the street that this place was good. I was like, hey, have you been here before? And then do it.
Bro, it's called Yelp, man. You don't have to ask people on the street.
I didn't have time to Yelp. I was just kind of like, hey, I wanted to hear from the streets. Yelp is all fake reviews. I want to hear like, hey, have you been here before? Is the food good? And I didn't have to ask him that because there was a line out the building. So
listen,
if a line out the building, it means
the most you have to ask in New York is, yo, how do you get here? Do you know this address? Whatever. All right, thank you. That's it. You don't have to ask anything.
In my defense,
they know where it's at. It's good.
In my defense, Kevin never said that before. So I was taken to New York in the blind.
Unfortunately, I thought you would know.
There was no hitchhiker's guide to New York.
Unfortunately, I thought your parents taught you don't talk to strangers.
You know what the problem is? Next time Kevin, when we go to New York, I'm gonna be like, hey, listen, I'm gonna be like, look, hey, you know how to get here? All right, cool. That's it. You know where I'm from? MIA 305.
You gonna get beat up.
Beat up. Kevin, let somebody try me in New York. You think I'm scared of the 718, the 516? I'm not 347. I'm not afraid of all those area codes.
You don't go to somewhere like that
in New York.
you don't see if you don't go somewhere like that and throw your own area code up, like you're by yourself. Like, you're outnumbered, man.
You know, I thought about it too, because at one point
at that point I can't help you.
Like,
Kevin,
and even if you could, he'd be like, step aside.
Kevin, you have to pick a side. Now, you have to understand that you're my boy and you have to pick my side, okay?
That's my city. You just disrespected my city.
Yeah, but if somebody disrespected you down here, all of us will have your back. You know, this is our city. We hold.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll be okay with it. You say whatever you want, bud.
Look, if I threw up a 305, Kevin, we went to New York and I threw a 305, like,
how you throw up a 305?
I'm a 305. Whatever it is, 786, who cares it is? I say it, I throw up with my hands, whatever, it's okay if you don't got my back.
I'm gonna look at you
because I was just looking for a fight at that point. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm looking for a fight.
I didn't say anything disrespectful on the street. I just asked the guy,
if you throw up a number.
No, I just said, is the food here good?
Someone comes up to you, you're like, oh, is the food good here? And you're like, you know what? And you're like, it's all right. But and he comes up and he's like, nah, I heard it was good as hell. You don't know what you're talking about. And he throw up a random ass area code. Like,
I'm gonna let you know.
You're like, nah, at this point, you in my block.
I'm gonna let you know, New Yorkers don't throw up area codes. They throw up gang signs at that point. Like, if somebody throws something up, it's gonna be a gang sign, not an area code.
I'm not saying throw up like in hand signs. I'm saying like, nah, I'm from the whatever.
Hey, Foghorn.
I'm afraid that you're gonna throw up on the mic.
Nah, I'm good.
Hey, Foghorn. I think it's time for Florida Man.
It is definitely time for Florida Man.
All right, so
Miami better 305.
Sometimes we're gonna have some good ones. Sometimes we're gonna have some weird ones. This one might be a little bit funny because Karl's drunk.
I'm good, man.
Florida man gets bushwhacked, struck with a can of beans by local deputies.
I saw that.
Hold on.
You know what bushwhack means? Somebody threw a can at him.
Yeah.
So he threw a can.
He should have tried out. He should try out for the
baked beans.
Technically, he threw multiple cans.
Multiple.
Somebody
he
got
loaded up.
No,
he threw one.
No, he didn't load up.
And load up and threw another one. I watched the video. 100%. I watched the video.
Hold on. Somebody threw multiple
cans.
I think it was an off-duty officer, I believe, threw a can. The first can didn't stop the guy. So he threw a second can.
He gets signed by the
hold on a second.
Team there.
The first can don't work.
He gets signed by the team.
Back and throw another one.
Can I ask one question?
He's like, okay, I see where I'm at.
Where did the off-duty officer get all these cans of beans?
They're in a convenience store. They're in a supermarket.
Oh, okay.
So why wasn't he carrying a gun?
He's off-duty.
Off-duty, you can carry a gun. Most people that are off-duty, if you're a police officer, you can carry a gun. You carry a gun every day at work.
He got the job done with those beans, so
I don't know.
I mean, the beans did the job.
Unfortunately, the beans were on sale that day, so they're at the end of the aisle.
Like, look, sir, that one got dented by his forehead. You got it. The beans are damaged. Give me 30% off.
Here we go.
That's what he did.
What was it? The stock prices are down.
That one, Big Daddy. I know where you're coming from. Hey, I see that.
Help! I don't know where I am.
Microsoft down 3 points, and he knocks the thing on the floor.
Cans of beans.
A can of beans, bro. What would you do if you get eaten a can of beans?
Were they Bush's baked beans?
They were Bush extra sweet, the sugar kind too.
So the beans stopped him.
The beans stopped him.
The second can.
The second can.
The first can.
I think it was a third can too.
Maybe it was a third can. I stopped at the second can.
At the end of the day, like all that matters in this life is that you.
I think the guy was trying to
Juju
steal.
on that beat.
Hold on, let me finish what I'm trying to get here.
On that beat.
So you learn from your mistake.
Who learns?
The officer, the off-duty officer. He might have been a high right. He got into the strike zone and he got him in the head. He learned how to get into the strike zone. He should have been signed
by a can of beans.
My thing is, the guy was, I believe he was holding up the store,
he
right?
was holding up the store.
You have a gun. What the fuck? How do you get stop by a can of beans? Shoot!
That's so unexpected though. Even if you have a gun, like somebody starts throwing a can of beans at you, you don't know how to react. You're like,
No, unfortunately, if you're holding a gun and you're that guy in that situation, most likely they're not trained shooters, so their fingers on the trigger.
That's true.
So yeah, I mean, the thing is that you see a lot of these guys, and it happens a lot on the news, and it comes up. But a lot of these guns, if you've seen some guns on the internet, like, and you've seen BB guns, like, they look like real guns. Some guys can't buy the real gun because they might have been a fugitive or been arrested at one point and they can't have guns. And they buy a BB gun. It looks exactly like a BB gun. And what, you're going to turn around on somebody that has a BB? Your BB gun's not, it might hurt you, but it's not going to stop somebody.
I'm pretty sure.
At the end of the day.
I'm pretty sure the guys
it's just to scare people.
I'm pretty sure the guy who buys guns to rob something buys illegal guns.
No, trust me, I've seen more videos or not. I've seen people that it's a fake gun. They're like, oh, this is just a BB gun or whatever.
I feel like Karl's gonna keep a bad can of beans in his
inside
pocket.
man with
don't get me wrong. I mean, the first can of beans, you should have and like
How'd it go?
and you should have ducked on the first can, and then like no one was going up.
The first
you
can
gotta go ready to go.
The first can didn't stop him, so he's fine.
So, but you saw exactly. So the first can missed. You gotta recuperate yourself and then adjust to that missed can.
Somebody come get Karl, please.
You gotta adjust to the missed can and ready to go. But yeah, I mean that's what it is. I mean the missed can But yeah, I mean anyways. At the end of the day,
he started saying so. The missed can was
threw me off. Yeah, I got thrown off. I got thrown up. Hand signs. But anyways, I mean, a can should never stop you if you're holding up a convenience store. I mean, I've seen worse. Honestly, I've seen a lot of America's Funniest Home Videos and all these things online where you see people like trying to hold up a convenience store. And someone just says, "No, don't rob," and they just run away.
I said.
Most people that are there are trying to just like not get any kind of like pushback from whoever they're trying to rob.
Time out. Have you ever had a can thrown at your head?
How big of a can? Are we
No.
How big of a can are we talking about?
It's a beans can. So remember, it's full of beans. It's like a thick beans can.
What was I at Publix trying to shop?
Publix.
And then I got a can, or was that at Costco?
No, because Costco is a whole pack of cans.
I've seen. I just went to Costco a couple days ago, and that's a big can.
If someone has to if someone has to throw a Costco's can at you, which is either a pack of like 10 cans,
all right, so
or one giant can.
All right, so someone threw a Publix can.
It's gonna hurt.
Does this person play high school baseball?
It doesn't matter.
They just play
recreational. First of all, time out. It doesn't matter. If someone throws a can of beans at your head, it hurts.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's gonna hurt.
If someone hits you with a can of beans, even if it like is a toss, a 20-mile-an-hour toss, it's gonna hurt. If it gets you right with the edge, you know what I mean. Everybody knows that's listening to this. If it catches you with the edge, just like the edge of a table, then they catch you with the finger on your toes. It's different when it hits with the edge and if it hits with a flat part. And I know I'm not wrong with this. Everybody, help me out here. Everybody that's listening. The edge.
Yo, somebody come get Karl.
Yo, put it in the comments. Have you ever been hit by a can of beans? How did it feel? Please, we want to know.
The edge of something and the flat part of something.
We're dying to know how these can of beans felt on somebody's head right now.
The flat part and the edge is different.
Right.
An edge is serious. The flat part, you might be able to get away.
We love you, Karl.
I mean, anyways, I commend the officer for throwing the beans. He didn't have a gun on him himself. He threw the beans. The beans stopped him. Yeah, that's all what matters.
All right.
At the end of the day. So anyways, we're going to go on to the next one. So we're going to be talking about the Memorial Day weekend shootings going on, or even past the weekend. But it's been a few days of some shootings here in Miami. Very sad.
I think it was like 8 shootings in 6 days.
It's been really crazy.
That's just nuts, bro.
And it's not all people who live in Miami that's been doing the shootings. Because like the recent one with like in Miami Beach with at Prime 112.
At Prime 112.
It was the baby's camp was the ones who did the shootings, which was a rapper who's under the baby's label.
That's the guy Pooh. What the fuck?
I don't remember.
Shiesty.
I don't remember his name. But yeah, I don't know how to, because the story's kind of confusing. I don't know if they were getting robbed for a car or they were robbing a car. But yeah, it's not just everybody in Miami. The worst one, honestly, is the one in North Miami, when the 3 gunmen came out and shot up like outside of it looks like outside of a club where people were just hanging out at random people. I'm pretty sure they were trying to target one person, which they probably didn't kill that person.
Supposedly what that was, I mean, I looked at it and stuff like that. Supposedly what it is that was some kind of a concert or something like that for some like off-label kind of rapper kind of thing, and they assumed they were targeting somebody in the rappers like entourage type of thing. It's just sad. I mean, I saw a video of that. There's 2 people that passed away from that one.
Yeah, it was 2 people.
From what I've seen so far.
20 shot.
Yeah.
26-year-olds.
26-year-olds. And
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, like you see, like I follow the Miami-Dade like police department on Instagram, and it's they're trying to give like if anybody can help kind of thing on like Instagram on like video.
$100,000.
Yeah.
And
you see the father.
$200,000.
Bro.
Went up to $200,000.
$200,000.
I don't think they haven't got any like real like evidence.
Yeah, what hurts is that you see like the father of one of the kids that passed away.
That was hard,
and he's like, like there's a difference. Like you see when people are like, "Oh, can you help?" And there's a difference when like you actually feel it and you feel it in their voice.
He's talking about how the city, he's like, Opalaga has to burn. Like,
like Miami Gardens or whatever it is, and Opalaga or whatever has to burn. Like it hits on a different level, and it's crazy, man. It
makes me not want to go out sometimes.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, because obviously in when we go to Wynwood. obviously Wynwood had a shooting and things like that.
On Friday.
You think
You're
you
there,
think
yeah,
you
Reggie
think
was
about
there.
it like we go out to party. And obviously in these parties, we can't some of us have weapons.
you
Some of
can't
us
carry.
has weapons on us.
Yeah, we can't carry.
Like we're legally able to carry weapons, and we can't carry these weapons because obviously you can't carry a gun into a party.
Yeah.
So we're defenseless to get shot up for somebody else. It's not even that you have nothing to do with.
Yeah,
That's the worst
I
part.
think that's unfortunate when it's like, obviously, I don't think anybody deserves to get shot for no random reason like that. But when you end up as one of the strays around that get taken down for no reason, it's like I was out Friday night that night in Wynwood, and you want to go out and have a good time and just vibe out. You don't put in your mind that like, man, I'm gonna go out here and not have to like worry about looking over my shoulder because somebody's gonna come here and start shooting the place up. We ended the night. The club Centro. We went to Centro and it closed down at 3:00, and we're walking to our car and I want to go home. It was the end of the night, but in that same time across the like side of Wynwood, there's a shooting that's happening, and I don't remember how many people got shot, but that could happen to anybody. That can happen to anybody.
It's
bro.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was watching when I was getting a haircut today. I went to the barber. They had the news on, and I saw a girl get on the news because they interviewed her about it, who got shot 3 times in the back.
I saw that girl.
She had nothing to do with it.
3 times in the back.
She got shot 3 times in the back. She survived.
Yeah.
But it's just like crazy because she had nothing to do with anything with who they were trying to target, because they showed the shooting, like they just literally just jumped out and fired in a random crowd.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's crazy. I mean, even before all this, like if you look back maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, they had that shooting at Ventura. They had the shooting at the Falls like a couple days later.
Yeah,
it's just shootings everywhere. I mean, it's just sad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm completely like pro guns. I feel like Second Amendment. Like at the end of the
thing
day,
is, those people who
have to protect yourself.
Those people that are shooting,
they get illegal guns.
Yeah, those people are shooting.
So
don't
regardless if you're gonna cut the Second Amendment and you're gonna cut normal people like us, where we've been completely cleared by the government to like have guns and all that and carry guns. Those people are getting guns that are like scratched off serials. There's more guns in the United States than there is human beings in the United States, like that, and that's just that's the statistic, and it's sad. It sucks that that's where we're at right now and stuff like that. It's sad that everybody decides that the violence that we need to like in order to like fix problems is just literally, oh, let's shoot somebody and fix the violence and kill them. That's how we're gonna fix problems. That's just the sad part of it. That's the completely sad. I mean, there's different ways of going upon things and fixing problems and all that. It just sucks. It just sucks the way that everything is going on and things like that. I feel there's just a better way of going along things, and I feel like there's 100 million people that think the same thing. But yeah, I mean, it sucks that that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate, man. Anybody, even if it's somebody close to you, somebody you don't know, it's unfortunate that it can happen to anybody. It's just you got to feel for the families of people that lost somebody during a shooting and stuff like that. It's,
yeah. I mean, it's sad that like, and where it really hit me, it was literally, I think it was Sunday afternoon that my mom called me, literally just to tell me, it's like, hey, be careful. Like I saw everything was going on the news and stuff like that, and it goes back to maybe the first thing we were talking about. Like Miami, for the most part, has been pretty safe for we've lived in all our life. We've been living there our whole life, and my mom called me on Sunday, and she's like, look, I just want to tell you, just be careful where you're going and things like that. She knows that I carry a gun. She knows that I have a gun. She knows all that stuff. And she's like, just be careful where you're going. Like, I just want to make sure that everything's okay. Like, it's sad at that point where your parents have to call you to tell you that, hey, just make sure that everything is okay. Like, where you're going, just make sure you're safe. Like, I just want to make sure that you get home at night at the end of the day. Yeah. Like, that's where it really hits you. At that point, I was like, damn, this hits me, like it's different, like what, like it's what if like that guy that you saw on the Instagram that like his child died, like it was literally his child's name was the same name, like junior and senior type of thing, and all that. Like I remember that, and he like the parent, again, like I said, like his voice was just different the way it hit. It just sucks the way that like like what if his parents would have said like, oh, where are you going tonight? Oh, let's make sure where you're going is safe and stuff like that. For the most part, I mean, a concert, you go there and like you don't accept you don't expect it to be something crazy or anything like that, like especially with a smaller concert like that. But yeah, I mean,
that's why I'm glad
I guess it depends. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yes,
I've been to those type of concerts, obviously with my cousin. It's probably not the safest place to be, you don't expect to get
the
shot.
The low key.
You don't fully expect to get shot,
but you don't trust the crowd.
But you don't really trust the crowd.
You would have thought different, man.
That's why I'm glad that we low key go in a group. Like whenever we go out, a lot of the times we meet up. We'll meet up at my house. We'll Uber. Like we always try to keep a tight knit group.
We kind of roll. We roll a little deep.
We try to stay together. We try to if it comes out walking us alone, it's always like a last minute thing.
The thing is, you really shouldn't just hang out in front of a place like that.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
Like
That too,
agree,
you know.
I
That
agree.
too. Like you have to understand too. Like I mean, some of those guys, like they know, like it's the same way that how you grew up in New York. They kind of only know that, you know. And sometimes if it's for like someone like people like us, it's out of our element. I don't think we'll find ourselves in that kind of situation, or we would hang out like after a show like that, you know.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where like, all right, so you guys go Central a lot and stuff like that. Imagine like, let's say you can't go in through the VIP section in Central and you have to actually wait the line that might take 30, 45 minutes and you're just standing up there.
First of all, that's
hence why I said
It's
it
not
doesn't
Central.
normally happen.
it never happens.
it's centro.
Central.
Roll that R, baby.
But anyways, let's say you had to wait outside one of those clubs in Wynwood and you just didn't expect. You're like, whatever, it's a little line. We'll be here in and out. 5-10 minutes, we'll be in there, and it's just your time. I mean, at the end of the day, some people think is your time is your time type of thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's just you don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know. Those people might have been waiting for like, oh, it's like, hey, give me 3 minutes and I'll let you in or whatever. And those 3 minutes cost them everything. It just at the end of the day, it just goes back to like, if gun violence is not the answer. Like at the end of the day. I mean,
So to combat that, like, unfortunately, like, I know gun violence is not the answer, 100%. But when you grow up around it, and somebody you know got hurt by it, and this is all you know, that's the only answer you have. Because honestly, I'm gonna let you know. Honestly, if somebody ever hurt somebody close to me or my family, I don't think that it's gonna end like in a diplomatic or like legal way.
but I mean, again, I feel that because I feel like the guy like where his child died that day, and I mean I can't speak for the guy, but I can feel where like it's just different when you're someone that you completely and utterly love like unconditionally with your like whole life, like is taken away from you by somebody else's negligence from something else that could have been fixed by some other way or didn't need to be obviously be treated with complete violence. Like they would take that away from you. Like, he would without a doubt be like, if I can find who that did it, I would do that.
Also, he said
I would
that
take him
he's
away
gonna
the same
he's
exact
gonna
way.
burn Opalaka. Not Opalaka's gonna burn.
Yeah.
He said I'm gonna burn Opalaka.
Yeah.
He didn't say that Opalaka's gonna burn. He said I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So when you're put in that situation, you lose all like common sense of what you should right and
Yeah,
wrong.
it's complete. Yeah.
Like
I feel
you at that point,
completely.
you just want honestly
You just
revenge. You want
complete-
revenge.
Yeah, revenge, justice, like some kind of
Like-
avenged, like
us looking from the outside in, like I've seen the video of them hanging outside and
yeah, I saw that one. It was
and
tough.
it's tough to watch it from even just my perspective that I have no relation to nobody in that
Yeah.
video. You have to have perspective from that guy's point of view. You won't know until something like that would happen to you, to somebody you know, like if it was your son, if it was your brother,
I can feel you.
if it, you know, like so you have to understand that he's going through different emotions that we can't feel, you know, and bro, like. It hurt a lot, bro. It hurt a lot just to hear him talk because it's like
Yeah,
he
it's a
feels
different-
like maybe they're not gonna have the answers and he has to deal with it in his own fashion, bro. And it sucks, bro. It really does suck. I mean, we honestly feel for the guy, and honestly, look for anybody who had lost anybody at that time or over the years, we feel for them, bro. It's just it sucks, bro. It really does, you know. I mean, what do you have to say, Jim?
So I don't know if you guys already know. One of our co-workers from back in the day, old friend of ours, Andy De Leon, was shot at very bad. He's not doing well. He's in a very critical condition. I believe he's in a coma. If you guys want to help out, you guys want any more information, his GoFundMe is going to be in our description below. Andy, I'm not sure if you'll ever hear this, but we want you to know that we're here for you. We love you. And we hope you have a speedy recovery.
We are thinking about you, bud, man. We, you used to be one of our boys. I mean, you're still one of our boys, but you used to be one of the best Bye boys, and we look up for our family. So, guys, we're gonna have the link in the description. Any way you can help, if you want to help, just anything helps, guys.
Get well, bro.
Get well soon, bud.
So with that, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope we had some good topics for you. Stay tuned for episode 5. Good milestone there. We're starting to hit it up. Starting to catch up.
We're moving. Guys are moving.
Cinco.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, description's in the bottom. Hit us up on Instagram. Follow us on all our handles. And take it easy, guys.
See you.
Peace.
Later, guys.